Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. In this episode we're going to go back and finish Maevar's questline that we kind of abandoned near the end of it. If you remember, before we left Athkatla to save trade meat, we progressed through Maevar's questline. We recruited Edwin, and of course we discovered that Maevar was conspiring with the Night Knives to betray the Shadow Thieves and kill Renal Bloodscalp. Or actually, you know what? Let's go back to Renal. I think it sounds better. But anyway, it's time to finish the quest line. But first we're going to rest, we're going to remove our fatigue, and then we're going to rework our spells a little bit. And we also have 2 identifications left on our glasses. So let's just identify this Ifriti bottle. So it allows us to summon an Ifriti, or Ifrit. It's a useful summon in some situations. It has some spells. And also, let's identify Belm. And this is a speed weapon, and this is an appropriate moment to explain how it can be used to some great effect. So, it says that it gives you 1 more attack per round, and I guess it's supposed to, work in a way where you attack 1 more time with this weapon specifically. But, basically employing some clever use of game mechanics, I guess, considering how the game works, we can use it to actually have 1 more attack with our main hand weapon. Because if we are dual wielding and place this weapon in our offhand, since the offhand weapon can only attack once per round, this additional attack is going to be transferred onto our main hand weapon. So, Senashira right now has 3.5 attacks per round. If we placed Belm in her offhand, now she has 4.5, and the offhand attack stays at 1, like I've said. So instead of 2.5 attacks with Ashidina, she would now have 3.5 attacks with that weapon. And that matters in a lot of situations, especially a little bit later on, once we get to some more ridiculous, like main hand weapons that have some good on-hit properties. Ashidina, is a decent example of that as well, with its electrical damage. But sometimes you have weapons that will confer some kind of a debuff or have a chance to stun or something like that. And with a speed weapon like that, you have more hits with that powerful weapon that you want to hit more with. So that's a pretty cool concept. We're going to give this weapon for now to Kiranai, I think, so she can get rid of her +1 dagger. And this is a stolen scimitar, I think, so we're not going to be able to sell it to Bernard. But I think we can sell the other stuff to him. And what else? I don't think we have really anything else to sell him right now. Maybe Neb's nasty cutter, we can sell that. And we're going to hold on to everything else. But anyway, let's now rework our spells just a little bit. I think I'm going to generally leave the spells mostly untouched. Although I think I might get 1 Emotion Hopelessness to Senashira, I think, instead of this Fire Shield. And with Edwin, we're going to, I think, get rid of this Shadow Door and give him 1 Sunfire, which might come in handy in one of the upcoming fights. And here, I think I'm going to get rid of the Secret Word for now and give him a Minor Sequencer, so he can unleash double Glitter Dust in one of the encounters. Well, he might do it, might not. We'll see if the situation is going to be good for it. Alright, and now we can rest. Right, now we're not fatigued anymore, we have our spells back, and we can go and finish our business with Maevar. So let's go to the docks and inform Renal, whichever you prefer, of the fact that we have discovered Maevar's treachery.
Yes, I'm still here.
So this is, of course, enough of a damning evidence.
Only the last part of our deal remains to be carried out. Go and eliminate Maevar, then, with my full authority.
Do that, and this business shall be finished, really. And if we oppose to doing that, there's going to be a little moral, I guess, discussion, a little follow-up to that. Because, of course, Maevar is a very evil and cruel person who wanted to betray this whole Shadow Thief organization, of course, and a lot of lives would be lost in the process. Yeah, so of course Edwin also wants us to get the reward for dealing with Maevar before anyone else does it.
If it must be done.
Yes, so actually let's go back and buff up a little bit, because now Maevar also has some ears around town, I guess, and in the Shadow Thieves as well. And he already knows that we have betrayed him. So once we get back to his guild, everyone will be hostile. So let's just do a couple of pre-buffs so that we don't get wrecked by the backstabbers inside. So we can just stone skin our guys, and we're going to improve Senashira's armor class.
Yes.
And I think we might even cast some mirror images on Senashira. And I think we even are going to haste ourselves just to make... you know what, we are going to haste ourselves a little bit later. We don't need haste to deal with the thieves.
What is it?
But I think I will haste before the encounter with Maevar himself. But I would also like to improve Kirinai's armor class a little bit. So I think we might get her a potion of invulnerability, which she will drink in a second. Alright, so now let's go to Maevar's place. And you can of course enter Maevar's basement or cellar through here and already fight him, but I want to clear out the whole guild, so let's go through the main entrance. And here even Gorge is going to be hostile, so this is the point where his inventory is not available anymore, so he has outlived his usefulness. So let's deal with him. Boom! So now Gorge is down. Alright, let's drink that potion with Kirinai, and let's just keep Edwin, I think, outside in safety. Okay, because these Shadow Thieves, of course, are going to be very inclined to going invisible. We can kill Gorvin as well. Yeah, and I think we're going to change Kirinai to some dual wielding, because I think she's going to be probably the most likely target of these backstabs.
Retreat or fall before me. What is it?
Right, cool. We can loot some minor goodies. I think some of them should have some decent potions, like an oil of speed. I didn't want that longsword.
Certainly.
Alright, let's proceed.
Next time.
Right, cool. Now let's clear out the second floor. On the top floor there's not going to be anyone, so... Oh, there's also Zintris, who was invisible.
Yes, without doubt. What is it? Speak.
We're going to teach him a lesson in humility. Oh yeah, he has some good stuff. Because we remember his attitude. Oh, our potion case is already full. We're going to have to rearrange some stuff in it then. But that's going to be something to do later.
Yes.
Let's just clear out the second floor here.
Without hesitation.
And yeah, on the top floor there's not going to be anyone. So after we are done with this place, we're going to go back down into the cellar and deal with Maevar himself.
Retreat or fall before me.
So Anishai, unfortunate, but
Yes, if it must be done.
you also have to die.
What is it? Speak will be done.
Righteousness shall prevail!
Yes.
Cry for your lives. They
What
are
is it?
over.
Alright, so just some cleanup.
Speak.
Whoa, that was actually some damage, 40 damage with a ×4 backstab. And let's heal Kirinai, and let's give her a couple of potions actually.
Yes.
Cry for your lives. They are
shaking
over.
with pure rage. I must speak to you. I must gain some reassurance.
This is not really the greatest moment, Animan, for this conversation. This is a little follow-up to his quest, of course. You know, following the lawful path is not easy on Anomen, it seems. And he is just full of hatred, as he will say, full of rage. You know, just the thought of Serk Farad being, or in general the murderer of his sister, not being caught is just not a pleasant thought for Anomen. But of course we will reassure him that, you know, killing Serk would not be a good idea, especially if he is innocent. Because we don't really know who murdered Moira. So he's going to feel a little bit better. This is just something that he's dealing with. Okay, so we got a few of these oils of speed, which is nice. Let's just... yeah, we're going to have like 15 of them or something. 14. Someone should keep them. Maybe let's have Jaheira hold on to them. All right, and now for the main event.
Direct me as you will.
Maevar is actually a thief mage, level 13 in both levels, and he's going to have some helpers with him.
It will be done.
And Lyn on the torture table. Now he is dead, but we still will have to be a little bit careful with our AoE damage, because there is Kamuzu here, and I don't want to kill him. I want to free him once Maevar is dead. And so we're going to have to be a little careful with that. I'm going to heal Kirinai further. I'm going to renew mirror images on Senashira and give Edwin some mirror images. I think we don't really need to pre-buff too much more. I'm just going to keep my buffs safe on Senashira. On Edwin it's not that important. Oh, and actually Edwin should cast his minor sequencer. I forgot to set it up. So this is a little unoptimal here, because I also want to cast haste with Edwin. But yeah, we're going to put these 2 glitter dusts into his minor sequencer. Okay, and a quick haste before we go in. Alright, and let's wait a couple of seconds so we can cast immediately with Edwin. Alright, and let's go in.
Come for me, have you? I know. I've still those loyal to me, and they have warned me. We'll not lay down for you. Do as you must.
Alright, so here's Maevar, and like I said, he is a 13th level mage, so he's going to have some pre-buffs. And we're going to have to take care of that first. Just let him get his pre-buffs first. Alright, and he has protection from magical weapons, and he had improved invisibility and mirror images, but we've dispelled that already with Kirinai, so that's very nice. Now we're going to spell thrust him, because he has minor globe and he has minor spell turning, also shield. So after he is spell thrust, we are actually going to be able to give him some magic missiles if we are so inclined. But I am going to breach him with Edwin after this spell thrust hits. Let's just have Jaheira in front, I guess, to take some attention from these clerics and archers that they have over there. And we're going to use that, I think, Glitter Dust spell sequencer soon on them. But first order of business, of course, is to breach Maevar, so that he is vulnerable to our weapons. And maybe, in order to perhaps... because I think this guy is casting Unholy Blight, perhaps. We might be able to interrupt... Well, if it is Unholy Blight, we're not going to be able to interrupt him. But let's just throw in a little Holy Smite in there anyway. And because now Maevar is vulnerable to it as well. So let's just throw it about in the middle. We might be able to get some of these thieves in there that are invisible right now. And perhaps blind some of them. Okay, some of them revealed themselves, some of these assassins, so let's use our physical damage on them. Alright, the breach hit Maevar. The Priest of Cyric was actually hit by it. It wasn't Unholy Blight. Unholy Blight would have been a much faster cast. So yeah, some of them were hit, and I I think just the Priest of Cyric for now is blinded. But anyway, now Mae'Var is vulnerable, so we can focus all of our attention onto him. And he's dead already. I think he normally has a contingency with Stone Skin as well, but I think we killed him so fast that it didn't even manage to trigger. And of course they want Kirinai. Let's just keep her at a distance a little bit, although they will probably backstab her, so that was kind of pointless, switching out her weapons. Actually, let's have Jaheira take care of that archer. And yeah, when hasted, now Kirinai has 5 attacks per round. That's pretty cool. And we can take care of that Cleric of Cyric. This is not the end of their invisibility shenanigans, though. Okay, and now we're done with everyone. So that was pretty cool. And now that Mae'Var is dead, we can talk to Kamuzu, and he's going to be pretty happy. And we can also ask what was the deal with him being imprisoned here for 10 years. And apparently he just didn't do anything, really. He just, you know, gave some evil eye, I guess, to Mae'Var, or at least that was what Mae'Var thought happened. And yeah, he was supposed to be an example, so that you know, everyone should know that Mae'Var, you can't be going around and disrespecting Mae'Var, man. So yeah, now of course we can let him go, and it doesn't really, you know, do much if we are not going to get the thief stronghold, and we are not going to. Because of course we are not a thief, but normally if you get the thief stronghold, he's a little bit more relevant then. Okay, and I think I would just like to showcase what Mae'Var had on him, and then I'm going to quick loot the rest. Oops. Okay, here's Mae'Var's corpse, and basically I just wanted to showcase something here. He has some gold and you know, some jewels and whatnot. But basically, in the unmodded game, he would drop a Shadow Armor here. The Shadow Armor that we've seen in Baldur's Gate 1, the one that we bought from Terom in, I think we did buy it in our Baldur's Gate 1 portion of our playthrough. That Shadow Armor, that it's an enchanted leather armor that also gives a bonus to hide in shadows. And normally he would drop it here, because it's kind of funny that in the unmodded game, Mae'Var is also a thief mage, but since he is wearing the shadow armor, he never casts any spells because he is not able to with a leather armor equipped. So SCS basically removes this armor completely from him, which is kind of weird. I think he should just have it in his inventory and still drop it. Because this is SCS's doing, that we're not going to get this shadow armor from here. So it would be justified, I think, to like edit. Oh, there are some stragglers here. I think it would be justified to edit the armor into your inventory at this point. You know, because normally it is supposed to drop there in the unmodded game. But you know, it's kind of surprising that SCS just completely removed it instead of, you know, made it so that Mae'Var wouldn't have it equipped. Whoa! 8 HP there. Okay, we need to like get out of there with Kirinai. Okay, they still want to attack Kirinai, so perhaps now we will be able to use a potion of invisibility before she is stabbed. Okay, cool. Yeah, even with that good armor class, you know, backstabbers are no joke. Basically, if you attack out of the shadows, you get a +4 Thaco bonus. So even normal thieves, that, you know, in a direct fight, they might be lacking in Thaco a little bit. And, you know, when attacking from out of the shadows, they do get that boost. And even if you have a good armor class, oh yeah, we didn't loot Gorge. He still has that letter of transfer that we gave him from and received from Mae'Var earlier. But yeah. These backstabbers can be dangerous with their like ×4, ×5 backstabs. Anyway, I was just just saying that it's kind of weird that SCS just completely removed that shadow armor instead of just making it de-equipped from Maevar and just him still dropping it. So that's kind of weird, and I would consider it justified to you know, still like edit it into your inventory at this point, because it is supposed to drop from him. But we don't really care about it because we don't have anyone who would be really using it. And later on, by the time Kiranai can use armors, when she gets use any item, we're going to have way better alternatives. And basically, there's a better version of Shadow Armor in Umar Hills. After you finish the questline, you get the Armor of the Night, which is basically the same thing as Shadow Armor, except better, because it has a slightly higher enchantment. So slightly better armor class it gives you, and it gives you a higher Hide in Shadows bonus. So we're basically going to have the same kind of armor, just a little better anyway. And I don't care about having that Shadow Armor right now, so I'm just not going to go for it. And now we can just give this quest back to Renal.
The tale of your deed has already reached my ear. Such things tend to. Well done, I say. Your reward is well earned.
Yeah, so he's going to pay us over 10,000 gold. We get a lot of personalized experience, which is very much needed, because we want Senashira, of course, to reach level 12 in Mage, and that should happen soon. And also he's going to give us a short sword of backstabbing, the short sword +3, that we also got in Baldur's Gate 1 from Slythe at the very, very end of the game. And yeah, he's not going to be able to tell us anything specific about Imoen or Irenicus, just that, you know, we should of course cooperate with the Shadow Thieves, and they'll eventually lead us to the Cowled Wizards and their secret prison. Alright, so how's Senashira doing? She is very, very close to level 12, so just one more questline that I want to do, and she should be there and ready for it. Also, let's just try to like open the chest, for example, to make her not invisible anymore. And I'm going to cast that heal on her, and because there is going to be some more encounters upcoming. And I think what I will do is just cut this episode short here, but record another one right after this one, just to keep the two quest lines kind of separate and these episodes thematically consistent, I guess, because it would, I think, end up being a really long episode otherwise, or I would have to cut it somewhere in the middle of the next quest line that I want to do. So thanks for watching this one. I'll see you in the next episode.